Well, it's looking like door-to-door gun confiscations might happen in Canada. The Canadian government has been gradually chipping away at the rights of Canadians to own guns for a while now. In 2010, Trudeau publicly addressed the concern that gun registration is the first step to disarmament, and he said it would never happen.
I mean, the fear in here is that the first step towards registering your guns is just the first step towards taking away guns from everyone. That's never going to happen because here in Canada, we have a culture that has grown up with guns and that respects the need to go out into the wilderness and shoot things from time to time.
In 2020, he banned like 1,500 types of so-called assault-style firearms after a mass shooting in Nova Scotia where 22 people died. And then in 2022, they used a shooting that happened in the U.S. to justify a ban on the sale and transfer of handguns. Then, in 2026, they tried doing a voluntary buyback program with a declaration period from January to the end of March to get people to declare firearms that are now prohibited to be eligible for compensation. The program failed miserably and the majority of gun owners refused to participate, resulting in the collection of around 52,000 firearms out of an estimated 2 million, or around 2.5%. Since the participation rate was abysmal, the Canadian government announced they'd be doing door-to-door confiscations instead. Listen to this.
The declaration period for firearms owners is scheduled to end next week. So far, only 2.5% of the estimated 2 million affected firearms have been declared, and 98% of firearms owners haven't made a declaration. So if they're not declaring by next week, what's your plan, Minister?
The RCMP and other agencies will be available throughout the spring and the summer to do the collection.
And you're saying that your plan is over the spring and the summer to deploy RCMP officers to go door-to-door to firearms owners and seize their firearms?
These are additional resources, so these are those who are off duty, those who may be retired.
I just find that very concerning that we're going to be sending police officers door-to-door because, frankly, many police forces across the country are refusing to participate in your program. And I think they have very good reasons to not want to participate in this program. And putting people who are no longer serving as RCMP officers going door to door. Are you not concerned about this at all, Minister?
Well, I think you may not understand the full extent of the program, Mr. Lloyd. It's not a door-to-door program. It is a mobile collection will occur. The program that we have in place is voluntary, strictly voluntary, so they're not compelled to take part in the program, although compliance with the law is not voluntary. And that, as you're aware, as of October the 31st, or 30th of this year, the amnesty that was extended expires.
So after that amnesty expires, what's your government's plan for those firearms owners that might still be in possession of these firearms?
Every police jurisdiction will, as you're aware, need to enforce the law.
So basically, 98% of gun owners told the government to fuck off, and the government responded by telling them they're essentially just going to come to their house and take their guns anyways. And since they're short on resources, they're going to bring in off-duty and retired RCMP officers to do it. But according to them, it's still voluntary. This is the same country that told their citizens to leave their car keys by the front door to make it easier for thieves to steal their cars so they'd be less likely to get attacked. Now, during a wave of violent crime, they want to disarm the populace and leave them defenseless.
To prevent the possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your fobs at your front door. Because they're breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else. A lot of them that they're arresting have guns on them, and they're not toy guns, they're real guns. They're loaded.
What we're witnessing in Canada right now is a textbook definition of anarcho-tyranny. The term was coined by author Samuel Francis and describes a state that is simultaneously ruthlessly oppressive and perfectly capable of using its full weight to enforce petty regulations, harass, track, and disarm law-abiding citizens, but remains helpless or unwilling to stop actual violent criminals. On one hand, you have a government admitting they can't protect you from car thieves and advising you literally make it easier for them to take your property just to avoid confrontation. That's the anarchy. On the other hand, they're perfectly willing to muster up the resources to send off-duty or retired police officers door-to-door to shake down legal gun owners who haven't committed any crimes. That's the tyranny. History has shown us what happens after civilian disarmament, so stay strapped and do not comply. Thanks, have a good day.